All right, Victorum gaming fans and fans of SPQR, we're back with another video in our series covering the different hero talents for the game. And today we're going to take a look at Hands of a Healer, which is a pretty neat tech tree and certainly useful for keeping your heroes alive. We do have to say that this is really only useful for if you're playing a campaign. If it were something like a heads-up game, like a one-off game, or even like a tournament, which may not have you level up your characters from game to game or something like that, this tree really won't do you any good. But for a campaign, this is certainly one that bears looking at. And again, if you're a Roman player, whether it's Caesar's Legion or Imperial Rome, you already get the Healing Hands ability for free. Yeah, just for playing Rome, you get a freebie talent here, whether you put it on a hero or not. It exists for you. So Hands of a Healer, this is basically aimed at keeping your heroes alive and sort of letting them recover from injuries over the course of campaign play. So as it says here, this hero has had either formal or informal medical training, enabling him to administer emergency care after a battle. This makes him extremely popular within the warband, and he is likely to have already saved many who would otherwise have died from their wounds. And it's a pretty straightforward tech tree, so there's no deviations or anything like that. And it basically just is a straight line here. So they're all three, as I say here, campaign abilities. So there's no stat requirements or anything like that, which makes it easy for anybody to pick up. And again, it's really just aimed at keeping heroes alive. So the first one, Healing Hands. Between battles, the hero can heal one injury on any hero except himself. This will negate one characteristic penalty that has resulted from injury. For example, if another hero sustained a crippling injury to the legs, then using the Healing Hands would allow him to remove the penalty to his move characteristic. So pretty simple, straightforward. So as long as your hero hasn't actually truly bitten the dust and died, this lets you heal them up right away. It may not bring them back for the next game, but certainly avoiding lingering and ongoing stat penalties is huge. Next up is the Medicus. And again, heal any injury or heal injuries on any hero except himself. And basically, it's just an upgraded Healing Hands. You can now negate two characteristic penalties. And then these can be on the same or different heroes. So basically, you're just doubling up. And so if your heroes do find themselves being constantly injured, this can, and especially if you have multiple heroes that are suffering injuries, this certainly can help get them back faster. And then last but not least is Physician. So between battles, the hero can heal injuries on any hero except himself, as we've seen with the other abilities here. He may now negate three characteristic penalties that have resulted from injury. These penalties may be the same or different hero, so it's basically another upgrade to the initial Healing Hand. So if you want to go all in and have a single hero level this up to its maximum here, certainly that will pay dividends again if you do find yourself having heroes get injured from game to game. Now the key is here, he can't heal himself, so if that hero, as a wise opponent might think to do, if they try and chase this particular hero down and take him out, if he starts accumulating injuries or death, then obviously all that hard work goes away. So does it make sense to put all your eggs in one basket here, or maybe just take a couple of heroes with just the Healing Hands ability and spread it out? That's up for debate. Again, if you're playing Rome, you just get a free Healing Hands anyway, so you might not even necessarily initially want to invest in that. But for other factions, it's certainly something to consider, again, depending on the length and type of campaign you're going to be playing in, how reasonably well you expect your heroes to be doing. So obviously it would kind of stink to lose heroes that you spend time working on, or make them even more vulnerable depending on their injuries, and then not having a way to bring them back to effectiveness. But on the other hand, it could also lead to some cool old sort of grizzled veteran heroes. But yeah, being able to just keep heroes alive and negate those injuries is really just what this tech tree is dedicated for. So again, not really heads up play, but certainly in a campaign, you should be thinking about this. And depending on how many heroes you run, and how far you want to go in this tech tree, you certainly can go all in as you level up, but again, you do want to invest some time in keeping your hero alive as well, and still having them do something actually on the battlefield. So if you just go with this and really don't work on making your hero at least survivable, if not necessarily able to deal some damage as well. Again, a wise opponent might seek to then hunt this hero down and try and get him killed so that you lose out on your healing abilities. So that has been the Hands of a Healer tech tree. So if you guys enjoyed that video, give us a like and subscribe if you haven't already, and then stay tuned for more SPQR content.